Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. My name's Anna Pirelli. The comments that you see here are my views, beliefs, opinions, and sometimes they are not even my fully formed views, beliefs, and opinions. However, they are my understandings. Please do retain an open mind and reflect on any of the content and your comfort levels. If your views differ, please feel free to leave a comment. Also remember, it is possible to disagree in respectful ways. My way is not necessarily your way and vice versa. You might also find that some of the content on this playlist in regard to spiritual or universal laws, it resonates with you, meaning it feels right to you, while other laws may not feel right or they may not feel comfortable. If this is the case, the information is either not right for you or it is not right for you right now, and it might never be right for you at any given time. It really doesn't matter. As an earthy and practical person, I can put my hand up with all honesty and say that I have at different times had the same feelings about some of the content in here, and with some of them I still have a level of skepticism within my viewpoints, but I choose to retain an open mind about the things that I don't fully understand for a few reasons. Firstly, because I believe it would be supreme arrogance to think that we all know all of the answers while we have a body. And because what is right for one of us is not necessarily right or suitable for all of us, and I choose to respect the differences. Please do leave your opinions, beliefs. Feel free to argue the points in a respectful way with any of the content on the slides and even my interpretations. And if you feel that you can add clarity around some of the content, we would all love to see it. Thank you. For now, though, let's explore the laws.
All creation is governed by law. The principles that operate in the outer universe, discoverable by scientists, are called natural laws. But there are subtler laws that rule the hidden spiritual planes and the inner realm of consciousness. Contained within these laws, or conditions, is the true nature of matter. Knowledge of these laws has an effect upon the mental urges. Mind is the builder. Stay in full mindfulness of the application of universal law as related to self and to others, and know that in love all life is given, in love all things move. In giving one attains, in giving one acquires. In giving, love becomes the fulfillment of desire, guided and directed in the ways that bring the more perfect knowledge of self as related to the universal, all-powerful, all-guiding, all divine influence in life. Love is life. When we go back, merge with the God source, in some infinitesimal but profound way, we expand the mind of God. Our higher self always points the best and most perfect way, and it is ours to listen and choose or reject what we hear. It does not blame, but patiently tries again to show the perfect way, the loving way. All of creation pushes forth. We are ever becoming. Identity ever remains. Universal Law number 35. The Law of Group Endeavour. This law defines the multiplying of energy one creates when acting with like-minded individuals to form a group effort to pray, manifest, do light work, or even to create degrees of control which we define as evil or black magic. Where the efforts of an individual may equal one unit, the efforts of two praying or healing for a common goal with equal energy will affect the energy of 20 units instead of the sum total of 2. With 3, the resultant energy explodes further. The longer pure thought, the exclusion of any other thought, of one's desired goal is held in the mind, the more powerful the result. Holding a pure thought for an increment of time is the beginning lesson of manifestation.
So once again, I feel that this law is fairly self-explanatory in that my understanding of a group is where there is actually 3 or more people involved in a manifestation process, although this law talks about 2. So going back to it, there's power in 3, from what I understand, where energy is magnified and intensified. So if I was to give a scenario here, it reminds me of the first meditation group that I attended, where I was actively involved in my first experiences of a miracle, for want of a better word. And I think that the whole process was intense because there was actually about 6 or 7 people there that night, and we were all sending healing energy directly from our heart chakras to people that we had named on a list. And when I got home from the meditation group, basically the lady that was babysitting for me, my children were running rampant at the time, they were a bit feral, and she said that was the bizarrest experience. She said 1 minute they were all just running around the house like mad people, she said, and then all of a sudden each one of them, my 3 children, not hers, got up and just stopped what they were doing and just turned around and looked at her very quietly and said, "Oh, well, that's it, I'm going to bed now." And they went off peacefully to bed, no issues whatsoever. So when I asked her what time this happened, because this was very unusual for them at the time, she told me it was exactly, when she told me the time, I knew that was exactly the time we were actually sending the energy from our heart chakra, and that the children were receiving healing as well. So anyway, that's part of my understanding of the intensity or the magnification of healing energy. And I also know of situations where there is that power of prayer as well. But anyway, to be clear, my understanding of what people refer to as evil and black magic, because obviously this is referenced here, is where a person puts the focus of attention upon themselves. And as an example, if they're trying to manifest, they're doing it purely for their own needs without any regard for how this manifestation might work on others. So an example of this in a positive way, with humour, is I recall a lady many years ago who was actually spiritually aware and understood this spiritual responsibility as well, where she was having a neighbourly dispute and she was frustrated because she's a human, so she was venting her spleen at me with no pulling of the punches, shall we say, and that it was very difficult for her not to actually wish ill will upon this person, and that she'd been trying to energetically or think upon the words on what she might do to manifest a resolution that was peaceful. And so she did. She just put it out to the universe that they resolved the problem in the divine way at the divine time for the perfect outcome for all parties. Now, what happened was that person that was next door actually made the decision to move away, right? So that's a really good example of not being selfish with what you do, because there's a recognition too that when you put it out in the divine way that a conflict is resolved, that it might be you that has to move away and enable a dispute, for example. Then there's the other aspect of this law that says holding the thought, the purity of the thought, is the beginning of the manifestation process. Now, I would go a little further here, just myself, and say that the pure thought in the first instance, for me, is about receiving the divine idea, right? That purity of thought and intention. And when we try to manifest, we visualize the completed project. I'm interested to hear what you think of my interpretations as well. But if we go back to that scenario of the lady with the neighbourly dispute, her original thoughts, I remember, were something like, "Oh, I wish he'd just drop dead," good old Australian. And then that total, well, that's not appropriate. That's wishing ill will upon a person. And then it was like, well, the next thing that I can do is hope that they lose the means to be able to pay their mortgage or whatever. Well, once again, that's not very kind or very nice, is it? So what are you going to do? Then you put it out to the universe, which is that you request their assistance to have the conflict resolved in the divine way, under grace, for the perfect possible outcome for all parties. And like I said, in the acknowledgement that it might be you that has to do the moving. It might not be them. But the thing is, if you trust the process, you're going to end up with a much better outcome, because that's what you've put it out there, the perfect outcome for all parties. So yeah, just really interesting stuff. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Have a good day. I'm going to leave you for now. It's a nice short one. Take care. Bye-bye.